Nemo.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, darling? Good, good, good. Well, I am glad you were able to join me today. Yes, the big Dillon, all the way from the big Dillon. He didn't even know that I was from Latta. Can you believe that, Gene? He didn't even know. I just told him today that that I was from Latta, and we talked about some of those places in Dillon. Uh, so we had some fun about that. But Nemo, thank you, man. Thank you for joining us today. Won't you introduce yourself to the listening audience? Tell them your name, your position, and what school you go to, and a little bit about how your summer's been going.
My name is Nemo Squire. With Dillon High School, I'm class of 2022. I play running back. And summer been kind of risky for everybody else. Pandemic and stuff. But it really did steer me from getting the right amount of work in that I needed for this year. So I'm just thankful for it, and continue to keep my faith in God and continue to work.
Well, I like that. I like that very much so. So Nemo and I, we're pulling double duty here. We're on the radio with Southern Sports Central, and then we have a Zoom going on at the same time. So we're breaking ground here, and I'm trying to hit one bird with two stones here. And so hopefully this is going to work out pretty good. But uh, I have a good sense about who Nemo is just from our interaction. Again, this is my first time speaking with him without, using keystrokes, and just I don't know, just from even just talking with you through Zoom and seeing you and hearing your voice, and just listening to you talk, I can feel that you're from good stock. Not just because you're from Dillon County, but that's a plus. But just from good stock. And one of the things that lets me know that you are a good kid, and you got a good head on your shoulders. And this is not the only thing, but one of the things that at least struck a chord with me is that when we were trying to get this scheduled, Nemo was going to be on the interview with the guys I had last night. And we kept kind of schedule things since last week or whatever, but it kept conflicting with the fact that you had a prior engagement on Wednesday at 7 p.m. and you did not compromise that schedule. You did not compromise that place that you had to be. And I was so thoroughly impressed with that. I mean, you just don't know how impressed I was with that. I was just, that's one of those things, it just makes your mom just gasp and hold it just like, and that's how it was for me. I mean, listeners might not understand that, but that's just how I felt about that. So, Nemo, tell me, I've been reading, your stats and everything. I looked at a lot of your accomplishments, you're one of, 15, number 15 top 22 all-purpose running back in the nation, and that's by College Football Today. All-state and all-zone running back in 2018 and 2019. Running back player of the year. I mean, it goes on. It just goes on. But tell me, what is the driving force behind what you do? What makes you get up every morning and say that I want to be the best running back that I can be?
Just understanding the sacrifices that my mom and dad had for me over this journey, and just the love of the game, honestly, and wanting to be good in what I do. And that's one of the biggest things, my family and what they put in, and how God is continuously to direct me throughout this whole journey, how he continued to bless all the things that you just mentioned. So That's just one of the things that continue to keep me driving, keep me going. So
Well, that's awesome. And I know that your parents are just as proud as they can be. I met your dad just a minute ago, and yeah, he's got pride all over his face. I could tell it. I could tell it from
yeah.
him. And but that's good. That's real good. That's every parent wants to see their kids succeed, and they want to know that you don't take for granted the sacrifices they made for you. And so I think that's wonderful. And I know that you play hard, you work out hard, but let's talk about something other than football. So if you weren't playing football at all, for some reason, Lord forbid, something happened, you couldn't play football. Matter of fact, not one sport at all. What would you be doing?
Um, scoring the best I can in my book. So I'm an architectural engineer. That's one of the biggest things, and that's an outlet that I can utilize. So football is just something that I can use to get to where I want to be academically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would be doing.
Architecture engineer.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that sounds good. Now you want to build houses, you want to build bridges, you want to build office buildings. What is it you want to do?
All those things that you mentioned, I believe, as a young kid, I was always the type of kid to take a toy apart, and I didn't understand the gist of putting it back together.
Mm.
So I got older and started continuously to take them apart, and then eventually I was putting them together, but I was making other things. I was utilizing different parts from different stuff that I took apart and putting something my own thing together. So it's
Oh, that's good.
always been in the works, I believe.
That's
I just,
good. Now let's keep it real. Now you said you've been doing that since you was a kid. Now, how much trouble did you get in for taking things apart?
oh, it was a lot of I like this. My parents, it was a lot of money wasted. We started off from going to Walmart for toys to Dollar General. That, so getting
Yeah,
hot.
see, because all that sounds good, as a young man getting ready to go off to college in a couple years. But when you're that 5, 6 year, 7-year-old kid taking things apart that I just spent my hard-earned money in, and here you are taking it apart, that's not so pretty.
It's
That's
not
not so pretty.
at
Well,
all.
bless your parents' heart. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh.
It's
Yep,
there.
that's something.
Yeah, I got.
That is something. So now I know you can take things apart and put them back together again. So any hidden talents you got?
Hidden talents.
Yeah. Do
I
you
can sing.
sing?
Yeah, I can
You
sing.
can? Okay.
Yeah, I can play the drums a little bit. Kind of like my family is full of musicians, so I kind of
Okay.
type of things. But that's
Okay.
um other than hobbies and other different trades that I learned from my grandfather. Yeah.
Yeah, you grew up. Yeah, you grew up in small town. Yeah, yeah. It's nothing like that small town growing up.
Right.
Because I wouldn't trade growing up in Dillon County for nothing in the world. Now I can't live there now, you know, but it was the best place to grow up, and I would make sure, I made sure that my daughter, she stayed a lot her summers there. But you have to aspire to more, and you can only aspire if you've been given the spark to be able to do so. So I applaud you, and I applaud your parents and your whole circle for sticking around you and recognizing that you tearing up these toys, but there's something bigger going to come from it. So that's good. So getting back to everything, I know that the summer has been kind of crazy. It's been a little hectic, a little crazy for everybody. How has that affected you as you're preparing for the season to come? I mean, how has it helped? Has it hurt? How has it been for you?
In a sense, it's kind of helped. It's kind of helped. It gave me more time to build, think about the things that I need to work on, and get ready for the season. So it wasn't too bad being in quarantine, being home. I was utilizing the
Mhm.
resources I had, and
Good.
was able to do what I needed to do at home and continue to get better, and then still have faith. Okay, we're gonna have a season this year,
Mm-hmm.
but that was still up in the air through the summer. So continue to work and make sure that I was ready, regardless of.
Well, it's good. And it's good that, you have that kind of adaptability. Um, that's a good trait. You have to have something like that as you move forth in life, because life is forever changing, and you got to adapt. You got to be able to adapt and use your time wisely. So that's a great thing. And don't think that I didn't recognize your shirt. I like that high school lit shirt you got on there. I got
Yeah,
mine on too. Y'all can't see that on the radio, but that's the benefit of Zoom and radio at the same time. And I
yeah,
also peeped the ring on your finger. You made sure you put it right in view with championship ring. Like you
yes,
walk
well,
around the house with them all the time. Yeah, I see it.
yes,
And I see the
proud,
trophies in the back. Yeah, yeah.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Got a nice little backdrop there. I see it. I see it. You
Yes,
prepared. You
yes,
prepared. You got your look, little ponytail all nice and neat. That's what I'm talking about.
yes, ma'am. I had to put us on.
Well, good. That's good. That is great. Great. It is. I really appreciate that. I really do. And what I was asking some of the other players the other night is that if you could choose, you take football out of the equation, and you could choose any school to go to, what school would it be? If you just take do it in two ways. If you take football out of the equation, what school would you want to go to? And then if it was about football and you could pick any school, where would it be?
Ooh. Um, without football,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be looking into the best architectural school, or the best engineering school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be That would be it would be Georgia, Clemson, North Carolina, A&T. So um, that would be a decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Now football, Clemson, you will go and have the best of both worlds. Um, and I like Clemson very well. But you got to go with the HBCUs as well. So those are great opportunities. So it'll be the North Carolina A&T or South Carolina Gamecocks or Penn State for football.
Okay. All right. Now, yeah, my daughter's at South Carolina State.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good one too. Just just putting it out there. Well, that's good. That's good. And I ask those questions, not so much the one about football, but especially if football was out of the equation, because like we said before, you never know what might happen.
Right.
And so you always gotta have a plan B, a plan C. You wanna never get caught without a plan.
Right.
Sure, you want to make sure plan A is executed to the best of your ability to do everything that you can humanly and possibly do. But you never know what God has in store for you.
Right.
You never know the stumbling blocks ahead of you. And so you got to make sure that you have a plan B, and knowing what you want to do academically is
Mhm.
first and foremost. Unfortunately, a lot of times with football, you can't do the big, medical programs and, lawyers and those sorts of things, because it takes a lot of class time. And, but I just, I hope that you are able to get the best of both worlds. You
Mhm.
deserve it. you deserve it. So kudos to you for that. And then the last question. I've seen you guys in the championships. So I've been at William Bryce Stadium in to the championship game for the last 4 years, I think. So I've seen you guys, and thinking about the teams that you had to get through to get there. Who did you not play that's in, on your guys' schedule that if you had the opportunity to play against, would you want to play?
Who would we want to play?
Who would you want to play?
Let's see. Be like, I would think Dorman or somebody like that. I love to play against them.
Yeah.
I mean, high intensity and great position. That'll be the hot. Dutch fork too. That'd be a good. I mean, might not be my top, but I love playing in a game like that. So
yeah. Hey, you're class of 22. And if you're trying to be in that junior showcase bowl, there may be some dormant players. There may be some
I know
Dutch fork players.
Yeah, I'm coming up. I played with a few guys from Dorman and state playing in AAU ball. So I guys throughout the state that probably will be there. That will most likely will be there. So.
All right, cool. All right. Well, I know our time is coming short here on radio. If we were just on Zoom, we could go on forever, but we are limited to our radio time. So I'm with Gene. You got anything you want to ask Nemo before you leave?
Gotcha.
I did start out college at Mississippi State in architecture. I played baseball there. If you want to be an engineer in college, you're a football player. It is doable. Especially at the next level. If you need getting past the class, they'll give it to you. But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of colleges do this. They will look at your transcript and they will go and find your worst grade, and they will go and instead of all those classes where you got all those A's and the teacher loves you and you love that teacher and this, that, and the other, they're gonna go find that lowest grade. Go ask their teacher, hey, is it because maybe you just didn't get the material, or is it because you had like a clowning class didn't do his homework?
Right.
Division one, state school level, they can pay for tutoring, and it doesn't matter how much it costs. I'll tell you, from Alabama, he told us an assistant coach coming in who wanted to be a grad assistant. He said, if I got a division, if I got a tackle, and he studied Chinese, and he's not doing well in that class, and I tell you, you're going to get on the Alabama plane, and you're going to go to China, and you're going to get the tips, the tricks to help you show me pass the class who you want to go. The guy hesitated and said they didn't hire him. So I tell you, a guy from my high school, we graduated here, that is Darwin Walker. He's a defensive tackle, and he went on to University of Tennessee. He won a national championship there. The last time they won in 1998. He majored in civil engineering. His roommate was not a football player, but he also was in engineering. They both graduated, and they obviously he got a little pep and a little bit of help because he won the national championship team. They started an engineering firm. They signed a contract with the state of Tennessee for $400 million.
Ooh.
In Tennessee. All right. So he took that company, built it up. He sold that company about 4 years ago because of this. You may know if you look him up. He played defensive tackle, started defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles for 12 years. And so while he was in Philadelphia, he sold his engineering firm to the largest engineering firm in the East Eastern United States, and he's now on the board. So if anybody tells you can't play football and become an engineer,
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome.
man. Well, we'll hit the break, and we'll keep this train rolling. We'll go hit a break for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
All right. All right, so you can hang up with him, Nemo.
Okay.
Well, you did a good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You did a good job. You know, I had to make sure, you know, I point out all your awards and everything, you know, give you a chance to show them off.
You hit it on the spot because I meant to tell you in the beginning.
Oh, no, you ain't got to tell me nothing. I know where you was raised. I know how we do, you know. We set everything up. We got to make sure. So I had you. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and doing this, and I think it worked out pretty good. I think it worked out pretty good. I'll listen back and listen to the audio. One question I want to ask you before that he comes back on is if you had advice to give to anybody, any football player younger than you that's looking at you right now and says, hey, I want to be like Nemo, what advice would you give them in order to accomplish that?
Have fun, work hard at what you want to do and what you want to be, and be better than me. And that's one thing, because I do get on the regular is I want to be like Nemo. I want to be like, well, you can be better than me. And whatever questions you have, text me, call me. It doesn't matter. I would love to help you out. But the younger, the better. Learn craft and have fun doing it at a young age. It turns into a bigger thing. You get older, start getting serious, but and you know that skill set, and it's make you all the way around. So
that's good. That's good.
advice I give to a younger youth.
Look good.
Yeah.
That is good. Well, that is great advice. And again, I thank you for joining me. I'm sure we'll speak again at some point.
Yes, man. We will.
You got another whole year, so.
Well, I say yes, well I do.
And you wait till I'm gonna look you up when I go to ladder too.
Okay.
When I go to Dillon, I'm just gonna blow the horn.
Okay.
So if you hear a horn off in the sunset, that's me.
Got you. Okay.
I'll be the one with the Dallas Cowboy emblem tag on the front.
Oh Lord, not that. Lord, y'all Cowboys.
All right. Well, thank you, Nemo. I gotta go finish up the show, but I appreciate you taking time with me.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
All right.
Tell your mom and dad I said hello.
Okay, I will.
All right. Bye-bye.